we should shut this door because I'm going to tell you stuff in here that they're going to wish later that they heard. And you're going to know it, and you're just going to be masters of Snapchat. I can see how eager you are for this information, so I'm going to start right away. Are you guys ready for this? All right, first of all, let me just ask, who has a Snapchat account? Who uses Snapchat regularly? Besides Jim, because he's forced to, because I snap him all the time. Okay, I'm going to blow your mind. Here's the thing. Everything that you've heard about Snapchat, just discount that all. Everything they talk about on the news with Snapchat is just totally false. Because here's the thing. Everything that's happening in social right now is happening because what Snapchat has developed. And that's the truth. Everything that you're hearing about stories and things like that and all the innovations, it all started with Snapchat. And the thing is, Snapchat is still developing, and it is the way, if you are a content creator in any way, if you do podcasts or blogs or video creation, your next customer, your next audience is over on Snapchat. Do you guys believe me yet? Because I'm so excited. You will. Okay. So how to use Snapchat to build your podcast audience is the official title, but I'm telling you right now, this information is not just for podcasters, it's for all content creators. And my name, by the way, is Stephanie Lahart of Boomtown Marketing. We are a social media marketing firm, so we handle all the social media for our clients and also consult with businesses on how to use social media to build their business, build their bottom line. So we are on the forefront of all social media, and we are in the trenches, as you like to say. Okay. Let's get on to the next slide. Oh, there's me. There's me in real life at the bottom, and there's me on Snapchat. One of the many awesome things about Snapchat is their filters are still so far and superior to anything that's going on in social. You can truly create this whole online persona that's really going to tie into your brand and actually give you a lot more interest than other things. Like social media right now, it's crowded. Roberto knows, he says it all the time. It's crowded and you have to differentiate yourself. And the Snapchat filters truly let you do that. And they take 10 to 20 years off your age at all points. Guess how old I am in that photo? I look like I'm 15 to 20. In real life, I am 48 years old. No, it's true. Snapchat, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, so there's my Snapchat code. Everybody take a picture of that because we're going to be snapping by the end of this. Trust me on this one. You want the code. You want to see my snap. I've been snapping all morning. You can get the whole roundup. Don't worry, I'm gonna put it up there again. And don't believe the hype. The Snap users are older than you think. And you're like, that's not true because CNBC keeps telling me that they're 14-year-olds. And I'm telling you right now that not only me as a 48-year-old is on there, there are tons of people over the age of 14 that are using Snapchat on a daily basis, and they're interested in what you are doing in your content creation and in your business. And the thing is, they are a captive audience. Oh, do you want to know why? Do you know why? Because Snapchat is entirely interactive. Unlike all the other social media out there that you can just sit on your phone, on your Barca lounger, I'm not really watching, I'm just scrolling. Snapchat's entirely interactive. Everything that happens on there, you have to click to make happen. So when you're on your phone with Snapchat, to get to the next screen, I gotta click, I gotta move, I gotta make that happen, which means I am no longer a passive audience, right? I'm an active audience. That's what you want. So if you have 10 followers on Snapchat watching your feed and actually interacting with you, freaking 1,000 times better than the 10 million that are on all your other social channels that aren't even looking at you. You're like, wait, Stephanie, I have like 10,000 followers on Instagram. I have news for you. Maybe 5 of them are even seeing your what do we call them on Instagram? Your post, really. But on Snapchat, every time they touch it, they're interacting with you, and they're older than you think, and I'm going to prove that to you in a second. Okay, so first of all, Snapchat has some of the most popular brands on there. If places like BuzzFeed and Comedy Central and iHeartRadio are using Snapchat, you guys should be too. If you're a podcaster and iHeartRadio's on there, you want to honestly be on Snapchat too, right? Because they're there fulfilling their content needs for their audience, which means there's an audience for podcasters. You guys should be up there too. Who's with me on this? Oh, you're all still laying back. I'm going to convert you. Trust me, I've done it before. 64% of marketers have a Snapchat account, which means all the advertisers and marketers are believing it. Don't believe nighttime news. They do not know what they're talking about. If the advertisers and marketers are on there spending money, that means they already know that there's eyeballs on there. Snapchat is also one of the #1 advertising platforms at this point. They're spending money because people are watching and they're clicking. Brand content's on there. Oh, this is a good one. So, of the people who view one snap from a brand story, 91% of them view the whole story. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? That, again, means you have an engaged audience. So you have people that are not passively watching this feed anymore. What they're actually doing is they are interested in the story. They're going through the whole thing. They're taking you on the journey. And what does that mean? You've got them in a customer journey. You've got them as an audience. And that's where you want to be. Hi, Aisha, thank you. I do love a photo. No photo is too much in my world. All right, next slide. Here we go. So treat your podcast like a brand. Again, not just for podcasters. Whatever your business is, treat it like a brand because that's what the brands are on Snapchat. They've already proven the model. You should be there too. I can actually just take my phone with me. I got this really cool app, Roberta, I'm going to have to show you. So anyway, so let's get into this. This is what you want to do. I'm going to break it down. 6 things that you want to be doing on Snapchat, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to do them. And I'm going to do it in 10 minutes or less because I'm from Philly and I talk really, really fast. Okay, so the first one is you want to tease your tribe. Snapchat, again, is all about the engagement, okay? It's all about talking directly to your audience and giving them something interesting. So unlike things that you're seeing over on Instagram or even Facebook or any of the other channels, that's more passive where I'm kind of showing you something. I'm showing you a video or a photo. But with Snapchat, it's always about I'm bringing you into my world. So when you're on Snapchat, always remember, you're teasing your tribe. You want to pull them into your world and show them a little glimpse here and there. So it's always so much more exciting. I could stand up here, you could take a full picture of me in my pretty dress. Oh, that's nice. If you were to just see a glimpse of this, maybe like a little section of the photo, it creates interest. And that's what Snapchat, because your Snapchat is always like this in front of you, that little glimpse into your world is way more interesting than the full photo. You always want to see what's happening in the background, what's happening over here, which means you're strategic when you're actually doing your snaps because you always want to be teasing them. You want to pull them in and make them want to see that whole picture. And that's what you're able to do with this whole vertical format. So then we go on, clip your show notes. Okay, I put this in specifically for our podcasters. Podcasters, you have so much content there. You have so much content that you could utilize across all these platforms and specifically on Snapchat. Because what you can do is you can take little clips of the show that you've already created and easily import. I wanted to do 2 words at once. Let's say import. Easily import into your whole Snapchat vibe because you can take various pieces of that audio. And since you don't already have video in most cases, unless you're Roberta or Blake, who's all about video up here, that's what happens when you actually show up, baby. He's speaking on Saturday. Then you can actually create a video along with your audio. So you take clips from whatever audio you already have. You could put it over a video, you could put it over a photo, and you can tease them along and giving them that little section that they're then going to say, that sounds interesting. What else you got? Well, funny you should ask. Go listen to the whole show over on my podcast. You're just pulling them in. That little glimpse, again, is what's really, really going to make it. All right, now we are on, did it work? Oh, thank you. Show more, say less. Oh, I love this part. Here's the thing. Nobody's reading your long diatribes on social media. They're taking seconds usually, so show them more than you're actually saying. Is that how I said it? Show more, say less. Yes. So if you're just seeing a video and you're seeing somebody say a few words and you have a few words on the screen, you're going to actually get a lot more engagement with that because, again, you're drawing people into that audience, and Snapchat lets you do that. That's what it was made for. You always have to utilize Snapchat and think of it as a window into your world. It's just a little phone that everybody's doing it on. And that's the great thing about Snapchat. It's always mobile. You never have to be at a computer. You never have to have a full setup to do anything. You do everything from your phone. It's on the go all the time. It's always a glimpse into what you're doing. So you always show more, say less. Let's go on to the next one. This is my favorite one. Poll the public. Poll the public. So when you're doing your snaps, one of the great things is, if you have an interesting topic for your podcast or whatever your content is, you can now interact directly with your crowd. You can say, hey, Kelly, what do you think about this? You can see the people in your friend list, which means you know who's following you. You can direct questions directly. You can say, Jim, what did you think about that last show? And then Jim's like, shit, she's calling me out. You know what Jim's going to do? He's going to send me a snap back, answer the question, and I can actually copy and then replay that snap on my own feed, and suddenly you have audience feedback. So you actually create the audience conversation on Snapchat. You don't have to wait for people to send in comments. You don't have to create a whole separate video. Everything happens on the fly. And this is another thing that makes it so exciting. I mean, it's literally like it's just happening on your phone. You don't need additional setup. And you as a content creator trying to get the word out about either your podcast or your blog or whatever it's going on, this is how people are interacting with you. Nobody wants to go home and have to sit down and think about it. But if I'm sending you a direct snap on here saying, hey, what do you think about this? You're going to snap me right back. And that creates additional content for you too. Ooh, I love Snapchat so much. Okay, cast a wide net. Here's the beauty of Snapchat. There's a whole range, a variety of different people on Snapchat. Just a wide range. So here's my theory on the cast the wide net thing. You want to make sure when you're on Snapchat that you are just friending everybody. We're back to that. Friend everybody. Throw it out there. Don't worry, because the great thing about Snapchat is you don't have to worry so much about, I need to cultivate this one little audience. Throw the net out on Snapchat, because Snapchat is still really the Wild West in a lot of ways, but that's good for you because you're going to be able to find an audience and find a customer and a reader in places that you didn't even know were possible, because sometimes, you know, we get so locked into our niches. We're like, well, this is my avatar and this is my person. Well, I have news for you. I defy that you'd be able to put me in a box. I have a wide range of interests and experience. You don't know this about me. I used to be a vampire in LA. Thank you very much. I might be interested in your podcast about vampires. But me, as a 48-year-old businesswoman, you're like, that wouldn't be her. Here's what I'm saying. You don't know everybody's whole story. Snapchat's now allowing you to actually reach a way wider audience than you ever would have and have that one-on-one conversation with them at all times. This is huge for you guys. You're still not converted, but just give me 10 more minutes, because I'm telling you by the end, you're like, I didn't know this was possible. And we're going to be snapping all night, which is good, because there's also a pool party at 10 p.m. right outside, and you better be meeting me there. I brought a new bikini for you. Okay. Oh, not for me to wear, for you to wear. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Clip your cast. Again, back to the podcasters, but essentially for all content creators, you can take various parts of your content and be able to use them right on Snapchat. It's as easy as clipping it on your phone and then putting it right into your snap. And again, you have that one-on-one conversation. And the beauty of Snapchat, again, is everything does disappear in 24 hours, which means your conversation not only is ongoing, but can change from show to show. So if your topic changes, then your whole feed changes. You never have, oh, say this with me, there's no burden of digital history. None whatsoever, guys. Which means every day you could tell a new story. You're free. I am freeing you right now. There's no digital history. You don't have to worry about stuff that happened last week. Every single day you get to tell a new story on here. That's huge. And that's one of the reasons why Snapchat is going to take over the world. And when it does, you can say Stephanie was right, because nobody wants the digital history anymore. Nobody wants 50 years of content. We're tired of Facebook reminding us what happened 5 years ago. Oh, thanks, Facebook. My dog is dead, but thanks for that photo. So with Snapchat, you don't have that. You still have the ability to make it last a little longer, but you also have the ability to make everything disappear. And as a content creator, that's huge because that allows you to keep telling a different story if you'd like, and allows you to keep moving the conversation, forward in an easy way. And what it's going to do is allow your audience to relax. They don't have to go back and watch the stuff that you did 3 weeks ago. Everything's new. Groundhog's Day every day. Say it with me. No digital history. We don't need it anymore. It's too much. We've got too much going on. And I have a new dog, by the way. Okay, here we go. Free download. Your Snapchat action checklist is on this URL, boomtownmarketing.com/FinCon. It is not an email sign up. The download's right there. I really advise you guys to download that because when you download the checklist, it's going to show you exactly what content you need to be creating for Snapchat and exactly how to do it. You guys can do that later because we're all going to be snapping, right? boomtownmarketing.com/FinCon. Oh, next slide. Contact me with questions. Don't worry, when you go to that URL, you're also going to be able to download this whole slideshow to remind you. I know I talk fast and I know I talk loud. I honestly don't even need a microphone. So you're getting a lot right now, but in 2 seconds, we're going to go live with Snapchat and you're going to be like, oh my God. And I did a whole story for you this morning too, so you need to make sure you get to that. Oh, there's my snap again. Are you guys ready? Everybody snap that screen. Whether you have Snapchat installed or not, we're going to use it. Get on there. It's happening. Don't say no. Oh, did I tell you already? I am the middle child of 3 girls. I can talk fast and long. I will be up here for hours. Wait, what am I? I've been up here for like 5 minutes. The other guy was like 4 hours. Yeah, okay, did you guys get that? That's right. You're going to go, if you go back and you just actually download the Boomtown Marketing /FinCon, it's all in there, so snap that one as well. Hi, Snapchat. And you'll also get my little bio thing then. I'm going to leave that up here for now. Okay, who has used Snapchat in the last 24 hours? Did you really? So who do you typically snap? Family and friends, right. But when you're on there, Snapchat now is also offering up all kinds of ads to you. The brands are on there. The stories are coming through. Again, the captive audience. And I have to tell you, personal story, which I probably should have started with. When I first heard of Snapchat about 5 years ago, I was one of those people that was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. I would never use it. And then 2 years ago, as my nieces got into the teenage years and my sister started wondering where the hell are they going all day, she got on Snapchat and guess what? She converted me. Because suddenly me and my 2 sisters that I already mentioned, we were snapping every day and it changed our entire relationship. And I sat there and said, why do I feel so much more about this social media tool than any other when I've been using the other ones for so much longer? And then I realized, again, it was that one-to-one face connection that we were having on a daily basis that I was like, oh my God, if you use this as a brand or as a company, think of that personal one-to-one relationship that you too could then access with your audience. And then that's when Snapchat changed for me. Once I started using it like that and talking to my audience like my friends, like I talked to Kelly and like I talked to Jim one-on-one, everything changed. And then I was able to have those conversations to say, this is what's happening in social media, or follow me over here. And then I was able to actually do teaching lessons on Snapchat. I do whole tutorials on there. And again, because you don't have the digital history, people don't get the option to say, I'm going to watch that later. I'm going to pause you and watch later. You don't get to pause Stephanie anymore. No, you don't. You watch me live. I always give you the option at the end to download something, but now you are a captive audience. Oh, wait, Mom, can you hear me now? I did mention I'm the middle child of 3, right? My entire life has been, Mom, can you hear me now? And let me tell you, with Snapchat, there is no later. Mom always said, my mom is on Snapchat. If there's any doubt about age, my 74-year-old mom is also on Snapchat. I just only mention the age because the nighttime news doesn't really know what's going on with social media. They all conglom onto one headline, and what do? Repeat it over and over until they, believe it's truth. But with Snapchat, honestly, the ages, you can always hear are kind of younger, that you hear that they're like 16 to 34. That is absolutely not true. I've proven it myself within my own social circle, within my business. The ages is aged up. So when I learned about this 5 years ago, that girl that was 15 years old, she's now 20, okay? Everybody has aged up since this thing started. And they still quote numbers that are entirely inaccurate because they are trying to get certain marketers to pay more for that demographic because they think, oh, we want to get them young. But I have news for you. People my age have a lot more money to spend. And we're already on Snapchat, so you guys should be too. So with that said, did you guys already get the link? And you already got the snap, and we're all going to be snapping later, right? Because I'm going to take a picture of you guys right now, and we are going to snap this thing out. And then I'm going to take questions because I am on time. Whoop, there we go. All right, let me pull up Snapchat. It's the easiest thing to use, and the filters, we won't even get into that. Take 20 years off your life. In 3, there we go. You guys are on my snap, just like that. Okay, here we go. Questions. Take it in for a second. Yes, Jim. Yes, dear. The Amazon and Snapchat partnerships. We didn't talk about that in the pool last night. What part of that was that? Was I underwater? I heard the T-shirt part. I love my friends. Thank you, Jim. You can now buy things through Snapchat from Amazon. Well, yeah, sure, because Amazon knows people who have purchasing power are on Snapchat. Like I said, the age is up. People, you know, over the age of 20, we got money to spend. We're not ashamed of it, and we're there. So honestly, if you see like companies like Amazon getting onto Snapchat, that means that the big businesses are taking it seriously. I'm telling you, in another week or two, you're all going to be like, Stephanie is magic. How did she know all this stuff was happening? Because there are things like that happening on there. And now with the opening of the advertisements, you know, in the bigger brands, again, you're going to see more people flowing on there because they're going to be advertising the service more. Thank you so much, Jim. Now I want to shop on Amazon through my Snapchat. As anyone else, and it's always been interactive, which is the great thing. You've always been able to shop through it. You've always been able to click on it. They never held anything back like the other ones. And you do have a whole news section in there, so it's one of those things that you do want to keep doing. And the stories keep going. They never end. Anyone else? Question? Give me a question or I'll make one up. Okay, thank you. Oh, go ahead, and then I'll talk about filters. Yes, Mama. Yes. Yes, thank you. So Kelly is a professional blogger. She runs an incredible site called Reconcile Your Wallet. Thank you so much. So she was asking, how do you then balance it with the other social media you're doing? Again, we go back to the fact that any of the other content that you're creating for social media, you can also utilize on Snapchat, but you get to utilize it in a way that's a lot more engaging. So if you've created a blog, you as a blogger, Kelly, you write a blog and you need like 5 minutes to decompress, Snapchat's a great place to do that. You go right on Snapchat and you go, guys, I just wrote a blog, go click over here right now. You can put the link right in there, and then you're just driving traffic. That stays up there for 24 hours. You can make it stay a little bit longer if you want, but it's just a way then to just move the message. You didn't have to do anything other than just talk to your camera. So think about it this way. You don't have to go out of your way. Like, you know, Instagram's a big-ass deal. You're like, what am I going to put on my Instagram thing? I got to think about it. I got to map it out. I got colors. I got all this. Snapchat's a lot more relief. You just get to go on there and talk to your audience one-on-one. So anything you're doing within any other aspect of your business, think of Snapchat as your new best friend. You hold up your phone and you tell people what you're doing. You don't always have to create a piece of content exactly for it, okay? So it's not even part of a strategy. I see it as a relief. I just wake up, I do a snap, and I like go on with my day. It's also not one of those things that you feel like you always have to do wherever you're at, because it's always going to be there. You just grab snippets here and there. And Snapchat, by the way, is still the king of the filters, specifically location filters. So if you have a brick and mortar business, for free. You can create your own filter that other people who are on Snapchat can also use, which means if they're in a 5-mile radius of your business, that filter will be served to them free, and it's free advertising for you. Like, people don't even know this. If you have a birthday party, you can set up your own Snap filter. Did you guys know that? And then people just get to use it, and then it's like, if you're like an attention hound like me, that's the best thing in the world. Oh my God, everybody knows every aspect of my business. I would love that. Hey, where'd you go? Okay. Whoa, there's my penguin. Okay, so guys, that's pretty much it for what I have to say. Does anybody else have another question about Snapchat, and other than, I don't know if I want to use this? Here's the thing. If you follow me on Snapchat, like I said, I do trainings on how to use Snapchat. Just start watching my feed, and it's going to make a lot more sense to you, because it is one of those things that you have to get in it to really start understanding it. So if you start following my feed, I'm going to show you exactly how to use these tools, and it's going to change things for you. And then you're going to see how that one-on-one communication is really where you need to be with your audience, because they are overloaded. Everything else you're hearing, they're overloaded. But Snapchat, you always have their one-on-one attention. And no other social media is ever going to give that to you. They're never going to be able to supply that kind of conversation to you. So with that said, again, my name is Stephanie Lohart from Boomtown Marketing. Thank you so much for showing up. I think I actually finished early because I talk so damn fast. But if you guys have questions, please feel free to come up and talk to me afterwards. And honestly, follow my Snapchat, and I will work it all out for you. And by the end of the week, you're going to be a snapping pro. And then you can show your 15-year-old nephews and nieces how cool you are. And that's all we have for today. Thank you so much. This is where you clap. And this is what I send to my mom. And then she loves me more than my sisters. Thank you, guys.